Yesterday, I just to start to that process on the cellular communication part one, and now we will proceed to the part two of the cellular communication process. Now we will come from this site here. What it indicates that? It indicates that there are two types of the binding. You have to note down some points also. There are two types of binding of this cadherin molecule, and one binding is the homophilic binding, and other one is the heterophilic binding. So cadherin is bind, basically the cadherin molecule is bind yes, homophysically, but sometimes it will bind to the in heterophilic way also. This is homophilic binding and this is heterophilic binding. If you talk about the in case of the homophilic and heterophilic binding, so what will be happening in case of this one, that generally the binding of cadherin molecules is homophilic in nature. You have to note down to these points in the notebook also. Generally, the binding of uh, generally the binding of cadherin molecule is homophilic binding. That means the cadherin molecules, what it homophilic binding indicates that the cadherin molecules of a specific subtype, cadherin molecules of a specific subtype, if you see here, cadherin molecules of a specific subtype of one cell, cadherin molecules of a specific subtype of one cell bind to the cadherin molecules of the same or closely related subtype on the same on the adjacent cells, closely related subtypes on the adjacent cell. That means the this is the subtype of one cadherin molecule of one cell bind to the same subtype of the cadherin of other cell or closely related cadherin like molecule of the other subtype cell. Such type of binding is known as the homophilic binding, and such type of binding is known as homophilic binding. Basically, according to the present models that you will see here, according to the present models, the binding occurs at the N-terminal regions. Presently, the bindings occurs at the N-terminal regions. According to the current model, the binding is presently at the N-terminal domains, N-terminal tips of the cadherin molecules. This is a cadherin molecule of one cell, and this is a cadherin subtype molecule of another cell. And both molecules bound to their N-terminals. This is the important point you have to note down. Bound to the N-terminal of their domains. N-terminal domains. Now this protein chain, you will see here, now this protein chain forms a pocket-like structure. Now this protein chain forms a pocket-like structure, as you are seeing here, forms a terminal lobe. This is lobe or pocket-like structures. This is a terminal lobe or pocket-like structure. Nearby the pocket, and these cadherin molecules, if you think about these cadherin molecules, so now each cadherin molecule, I will show you each cadherin, basically the cadherin molecule has 5 domains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically 5 domains. You see in case of T cadherin also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So now this cadherin molecule has basically the 5 repeats. You have to note down that the These are the cadherin domains. Cadherin domains means cadherin motifs. So now in vertebrates, the classical cadherin in vertebrates, the classical cadherin in vertebrates, the classical cadherin contains 5 motifs. 5 of these repeats, these domains, that is the cadherin domain. But in case of desmoglein and desmocholine, and their number may be either 4 or 5, either 4 or 5. In case of desmoglein and desmoglein, their number is 4 or 5. But in some non-classical cadherins, but in case of some non-classical cadherins, more than 30 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 cadherin domains, more than 30 cadherin domains are present. But in classical cadherins, how many domains? So your answer is either 5. But in non-classical cadherins, more than 30 domains. I think that you like it. And they forms a hinge. When they bind to the other cadherins, they form a hinge. And calcimines and they forms a hinge. Near to these hinge regions, here this is a hinge region. Near to these hinge regions, calcimines are bind. Near to these hinge regions, calcimines bind. The question is, why these calcimines bind to these regions? So your answer is because it prevents flexing. It prevents its flexing, and so after binding of these calcimines, the whole complex becomes rigid. Whole complex becomes rigid and slightly curved after binding with the calcium. You see how many molecules of calcium are bind? So here is in each domain binds 3 calcium. So that means there are 3 calcium binding sites in each domain of this cadherin. This cadherin has how many domains for calcium binding? So your answer is 3 domains. Right? This is the questions for your examinations also. So now you think about that. If calcium is removed, if you want to remove the calcium from to this hinge regions, now at that case what would be helping? The structure become floppy. This structure becomes just like as a floppy like structure. The structure becomes floppy, and as a resultant the conformational changes are occur. And as a resultant, what will be happening? The binding of this cadherin molecule to the respective cadherin receptor. Now they loosely bind to each other. Now loosely bound to each other. And the question is, how can you destabilize the binding of cadherin molecules? So your answer is by removing the calcium. By removing to this calcium ion, or by the loss of this calcium ion, you can destabilize the cadherin molecules. I think that you understand it. How the question is, you have to note down to all these questions in the notebook also. The question is, how can the cadherin molecule binding is destabilized? So your answer is by removing of the calcium ions, or by removing of calcium ion, or loss of calcium ions. या तो लॉस होगा या उसको आप रिमूव कर दोगे. ठीक है. So now this is a story of your calcium ion cadherin molecules which forms a cadherin junctions. Then we will go to the next parts. you will see here, this is the story. Here you will see here, this is a cadherin domain. This is a cadherin domain. And how many calcium ions binds to this? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then it forms a rigid, it becomes rigid. Otherwise, it becomes a floppy-like. If calcium, you remove the calcium. So now it becomes a floppy-like, right? Here what will be happening is the calcium ions after removal. You will see here. And these are the 30 CD. I write it. The 30 such domains are present in non-classical cadherin molecule. More than 30 domains. 30 domains. Cadherin domains in the non-classical cadherin molecules, such as the T cadherin and so on. But in classical classical cadherins, E cadherin, M cadherin, and you will find out the five, maybe the five, approximately the five cadherin domains. I think that you understand it. Then we will proceed to the other parts. Now we will come to the another parts that this is a part of adherent junction. You will see here, this is a part of our adherent junction. This is a part of our adhesion belt. This is a part of our adhesion belt, and in adhesion belts, you will find out the what you will find out. In adhesion belt, you will find out some other things. This is a, you will see here, this is actin filaments inside to these microvilli regions. This is a lumen and microvilli extending from the, these microvilli extending from the apical surface. You will see here. Now here you will see here, these are the adhesion, because these cadherin molecules they forms either the they forms one hand they form the desmosomes, and other hand they also form the your adherent junctions. So now you will see here, this is a cadherin protein. Here is a cadherin proteins. This is a cadherin protein, and this cadherin protein is surrounded by these actin filaments. These cadherin proteins surrounded by actin filaments. Then it is known as the adherent junctions. If it is surrounded by the microfilament, then it is known as desmosomes. Don't confuse. In case of the desmosomes, and these are supported by the microfilaments. But in case of the adherent junctions, these are supported by the actin filaments. I think that you understand it. This is a tight junction. I will tell you this tight junction is a seal, is the basal surface. So under to this tight junction molecules, you can also write something in the tight junction forms also. These tight junctions are essential part of the machinery for the modeling of the shape of multicellular structures in animal body, because these junctions, these adherent junctions, are very essential for the for modeling the shape of the multicellular structures in the animal body. And you will see here, these adhesion junctions are supported by the actin filaments, and these adhesion junctions occurs in various forms. These, you have to note down it. These adhesion junctions occur in various forms in many epithelial tissues. In non-epithelial, they are also found in non-epithelial tissues. They are also found in non-epithelial tissues. They are also found in non-epithelial tissues. They, such as they found in heart muscles. They found in heart muscles. In heart muscles, they are also found in heart muscles. Heart muscles means the cardiac muscles. And now they forms a belt-like structure. Here you will see here, they forms a belt-like structure that is known as the adhesion belt or the Jonula adherens. They forms a belt-like structure that is known as adhesion belt or Jonula adherens beneath to the epithelial surface. And this is a small story of your thing. Now we will come to these desmosomal parts. Now we will come to the desmosomal parts. In case of the desmosomes, these are also the junctions. These are the cadherin molecules, and these cadherin molecules are supported by the microfilaments. Microfilaments. But in adherent junctions, these adherent junctions are supported by actin filaments. So by that process, on the basis of these filaments, you can differentiate whether it belongs to adherent junction or it belongs to your desmosomes. I think that we will go to it. In case of the desmosomes, these the first point in case of desmosomes are just like your adherent junctions. Desmosomes are just like your adherent junctions, except except uh, except the desmosomes are supported by intermediate filaments, but adherent junctions are supported by actin filaments. And these intermediate filaments provide the mechanical strength. These intermediate filaments provides the mechanical strength, and these desmosomes are very important in vertebrates. You have to note down to all these things. These desmosomes are very important in vertebrates, but they are mostly not found in case of the invertebrates. For example, Drosophila. For example, Drosophila. Drosophila is insect, Euphorian insect, phylum Arthropoda. Uh, now, they are basically these desmosomes are present in the mature vertebral epithelium. These desmosomes are basically present. These these desmosomes are basically presents the mature vertebral epithelium, and basically they are plentiful in the epidermis. Basically, these desmosomes are plentiful in the epidermis, and in epidermis you will find out that, and in epidermis they are supported by these keratin filaments, and these keratin filaments are an example of intermediate filaments. These are the examples of intermediate filaments. And if you talk about these desmosome-like structures, these desmosome-like structures forms a great structural network. They forms a great structural structural framework. They forms a great structural framework between the cells. And in case of the heart muscles, in case of the skin, in case of skin or epithelial cells, these desmosomes are supported by keratin filaments, but in heart muscles, these are supported by Desmin filaments. In heart muscles, these are supported by Desmin filaments, and these are supported by Desmin filaments in case of heart muscles. In case of heart muscles, that means the muscles of cardiac regions, and these desmosomes are supported by these Desmin filaments. But in skin and in epithelial parts, they are supported by keratin filaments. Now, if you talk about the desmosome junctions, a fatal skin disease, if what will be happening if these cadherin proteins are not functional, if these cadherin proteins are non-functional or it is mutated, so then a disease is a skin disorder is comes in on a skin disorder. Now a skin disorder is happening due to this is a skin disorder. What is it? It is skin disorder. It is a skin disorder. Why this skin disorder is happening? So now this skin disorder is happening due to due to uh, due to uh, uh, due to cadherin deficiency, or due to the truncated structure, due to truncated uh, structure of cadherin. Due to truncated structure of cadherin, a skin disease is becomes, that is the what is it? Is it pemphigus? Pemphigus. You have to note down it. Is it pemphigus? It is what will be happening during this blistering in the skin, blistering occurs in the skin, and body fluids, loosened body fluid comes out outside from the epidermis, and then small blister-like molecules are coming. आपने देखा होगा किसी किसी व्यक्ति के केस में, इसके केस में क्या होते हैं, शरीर में बहुत छोटे छोटे थोड़े दाने होते हैं पूरे शरीर में. मैं भी एक फेसबुक में कोई देख रहा था कि बच्चा ऐसा है करके. तो व्हाट इज दैट? वो दैट इज ए डिजीज हेम्पिकस. उसका जो केराटिन कैटेरिन मॉलिक्यूल है, बिकॉज दिस कैटेरिन रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ डेस्मोसोम्स. तो उस कैटेरिन में या तो म्यूटेशन हो गया होगा या डिसफंक्शन हो गया होगा, या सपोज दैट उसके विरुद्ध इस कैटेरिन मॉलिक्यूल के विरुद्ध एंटीबॉडीज बाइंड हो गई होंगी. तो एज ए रिजल्टेंट व्हाट विल बी हैपनिंग, द डेस्मोसोम्स विल नॉट फंक्शनिंग नहीं हो पाएंगे. तो जो बॉडी का फ्लूइड होगा, बॉडी का फ्लूइड बाहर आके छोटे छोटे ब्लिस्टर, जैसे जलने के बाद ब्लिस्टर बनते हैं, ऐसे पूरी बॉडी में. दिस इज द डिजीज दैट इज नोन एज pemphigus disease. आई थिंक दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड इट. और जो ये डेस्मोसोम्स होते हैं, इनको बीटा कैटेनिन जो है प्रोटीन बाउंड करता है एक्टिन फिलामेंट से जोड़ने के लिए. बीटा डेस्मोसोम्स वहाँ पर आपके. तो आई विल टेक स्मॉल लिटिल बिट अमाउंट्स और आई थिंक दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड इट. Now we will come to the next part, the relaying functions. तो scaffold proteins जो आपकी कैसे काम करती हैं, how they work. Here you will see here is a set of the protein. These are the synaptic vesicles. यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हैं, this is a synaptic vesicle, and this is post-synaptic vesicle, this is pre-synaptic vesicle. Now you will see here is some certain set of the proteins here, and these proteins will help in the transmission of these vesicles. And this one you will see here is some proteins in case of this one. These are the proteins is there, and these proteins are your you know about these proteins. The one is the neuroxin and neurolignin. Neuroxin and neurolignin, there are two proteins. These are the scaffold proteins. And these proteins you will see here, these are the one protein. This protein is the neuroxin, and this is the neuroligin, right? You will see here neuroligin. This is neuroligin. Neuroligin act as a receptor for this neuroxin, and neuroxin is present in your presynaptic neurons, and the neuroligin is present in postsynaptic neurons. I think you understand it. This is a vessel docking proteins. At first I will tell you this structure, then I will to explain all these things. Now you will see here, this is a anchor proteins. This is a cadherin molecule. This is one cadherin, and this is the cadherin of these molecules. They bind, and you will see here, this is a neurotransmitter receptor. Neurotransmitter inside to these vesicles. This is the anchoring protein. This is a anchor proteins, and now this anchor protein is supported by these actin filaments. Now this actin protein is supported by actin filaments, and these are the scaffold proteins. These red structures you will see here, these are the scaffold proteins. And you will see here, these are the ion channels. Suppose that it may be a calcium ion channel, it may be a potassium ion channels. These are the ion channels. Okay, these are the ion channels. I think that this is a presynaptic neuron, and this is postsynaptic neurons. Now this is your this is your voltage gated ion channels, that is a calcium ion channels. So now what will be happening, the information processing of the information is in this presynaptic neurons. Then this processed information is bind with the neurotransmitters, and then these neurotransmitters are surrounded by vesicles. Now these vesicles, here is the process is what is it? It is exocytosis. Now it is the exocytosis process here. This is a synapse junction of between these two. Now this information, this neurotransmitter comes in the this vesicular regions, the synapse regions. Then these receptor molecules pick up to this one. Then it comes to the this one part. This is the dendritic part of postsynaptic neuron. This is the axon part of your presynaptic neurons. So here you will see, here is an important process there. Here is a signal receptors. here is the signal receptors, ion channels, synaptic vesicles, and docking proteins. These are the docking proteins and other components. So now, by this process, these neurotransmitters release to their content in the synapse, and the other postsynaptic neurons pick up to these one, and then the processing is uh, goes in the next, and it goes to the next postsynaptic neurons. तो इस तरीके से जाएगी. जैसे इसमें क्या है आपका सुपर इम्यूनोग्लोबिन की सुपर फैमिली के प्रोटीन्स, दे आल्सो वर्क इन द सेम वे. ये जो आपके जो और नर्वस सिस्टम में आप देख रहे हैं, दिस इज ए न्यूरॉन्स इन केस ऑफ द न्यूरॉन्स. So here are some scaffold proteins plays very important role here. These scaffold proteins plays very important role. Yes, they produce a central role, and these proteins approximately, suppose that these scaffold proteins they are made up of a string of proteins. These scaffold proteins made up of a string of proteins, protein domains, typically several domains. They pick up several domains, approximately 70 amino acid long. You note down approximately 70 amino acid long. These 70 amino acid longs, approximately 70 amino acid longs, and the C terminal domains of this one. Several hundred different types of the proteins are present. Now, if what will be happening, these scaffold proteins participates in this signal relaying processing, from presynaptic neurons to postsynaptic neurons. So what suppose that इसी तरह का क्वेश्चन मैं भी आपको एग्जाम में दूंगा, आपके इंटरव्यू एग्जाम में. सपोज दैट ये सिनेप्टिक वेसिकल में कोई भी सिनेप्टिक स्कैफोल्ड प्रोटीन है, म्यूटेशन हो गया इस ऊपर, ठीक है. तो म्यूटेशन इन द सिनेप्टिक स्कैफोल्ड अल्टर द साइज. ये सपोज दैट इस स्कैफोल्ड प्रोटीन में म्यूटेशन हो जाता है, तो क्या होगा, द साइज एंड स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द साइनेप्स इज चेंज. ध्यान दीजिएगा, इफ द म्यूटेशन अकर्स इन द स्कैफोल्ड प्रोटीन, द व्हाट विल बी द रिजल्टेंट इज द साइज एंड स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द साइनेप्स विल बी चेंज. यही नेट का क्वेश्चन भी बन सकता है कि यदि आपका स्कैफोल्ड प्रोटीन पर म्यूटेशन हो गया या कोई डाई से आपने बाइंड कर दिया, तो क्या होगा, व्हाट विल बी हैपनिंग, द स्ट्रक्चर एंड साइज ऑफ दिस साइनेप्स विल बी चेंज. ठीक है, ये चेंज हो जाएगा आपका, और जिसके सीवियर इट हैज सीवियर कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज इन नर्वस सिस्टम. पहला कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज क्या होगा, नो ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन का ट्रांसमिशन नहीं होगा, नो ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन. यदि स्कैफोल्ड प्रोटीन्स पर क्या हो जाता है, म्यूटेशन हो जाता है, तो एक कॉन्सिक्वेंस तो द साइज एंड स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ दिस साइनेप्स रीजन विल बी चेंज. तो एक तो सीधे हुआ, नो ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन का ट्रांसमिशन नहीं होगा. वैसे ही जैसे आपका नेटवर्क नहीं आ रहा है, तो जो भी मैं यहाँ पर बोल रहा हूँ, तो आपका नेटवर्क स्लो है, तो आपको आवाज़ क्लियर नहीं आ रही होगी. तो द सेम स्टोरी इज हैपनिंग हियर आल्सो, क्योंकि नेटवर्क में क्या हो गया, म्यूटेशन हो गया थोड़ा बहुत. ठीक है, नेटवर्क स्लो नेटवर्क हो गया उसका. तो सेम यू अंडरस्टैंड टू दिस थिंग्स हियर कि मॉलिक्यूलर मशीनरी किस तरह से जो है ये इम्पोर्टेंट है. बहुत सारे हैं ऐसे, जैसे इसके लार्ज फैमिली के प्रोटीन्स हैं, ड्रोसोफ्ला के केस में इस तरह की. तो हाउ दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज ट्रांसमिट फ्रॉम दिस प्रीसिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन टू पोस्टसिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन्स. देन वी विल कम टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट्स. अब यहाँ पर आते हैं हम, दिस इज ए पार्ट ऑफ टाइट जंक्शन की बात है. Tight junctions, mostly the tight junctions, there are certain set of proteins in tight junctions, that is अक्लोइडिन फैमिली के प्रोटीन्स हैं. जहाँ भी टाइट जंक्शंस में जो भी प्रोटीन्स आएंगे, दे आर द प्रोटीन्स ऑफ अक्लोइडिन फैमिली प्रोटीन्स. अक्लोइडिन फैमिली प्रोटीन्स आएंगे. यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे, यहाँ पर आप क्या देख रहे हैं, these are the अक्लोइडिन junctions. These अक्लोइडिन junctions and these are the अक्लोइडिन junctions. These अक्लोइडिन junctions are known as tight junctions. ठीक है, these अक्लोइडिन junctions in vertebrate epithelium, these are called tight junctions. किसी भी चीज को जाने नहीं देंगे, सील कर देंगे. आपको पता है कि टाइट जंक्शंस किसी को भी ट्रांसमिशन इंफॉर्मेशन का नहीं करने देंगे. बेसिकली आई यू टॉक अबाउट दिस, स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन, हमारा जो स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन है दैट इज गुड एग्जांपल फॉर शोइंग टू दिस टाइट जंक्शन। टाइट जंक्शंस को शो करने के हमारा जो स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन का एपिथेलियल पार्ट है, द एपिथेलियल टिश्यूज ऑफ स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन इज द बेस्ट। इसमें क्या होते हैं, सिंपल कॉलमनर स्ट्रक्चर से होते हैं, कॉलम्स ऐसे देख रहे हैं आप, कॉलमनर कॉलमनर एपिथेलियल सेल्स। एंड मेजोरिटी में जो एब्जॉर्प्टिव सरफेस एरिया है, जो एब्जॉर्प्टिव सरफेस एरिया है स्किन का, मतलब इंटेस्टाइन का, these these cells are absorptive cells are specialized to uptake of the nutrients. They are taking the nutrients from the lumen of the intestine, intestinal cavity lumen in gut से, जहाँ से आप यहाँ पर देख रहे हैं ट्रांससेलुलर ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रहा है। दिस इज ए प्रोसेस इम्पोर्ट सोडियम आयन, सोडियम आयन ड्राइवन ट्रांसपोर्ट है। सोडियम आयन के साथ आपका ग्लूकोज का मॉलिक्यूल भी जो स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन का लुमेन है दैट इट कम्स इन दी इनसाइड टू दी सेल, सेल में ये कम हो रहा है, ठीक है, दैट कम्स इन इनसाइड टू दी सेल्स, ठीक है, ये सेल्स के अंदर आपका एंट्री कर रहा है। कैसे कर रहा है एंट्री? दिस इज ड्राइवन बाय सोडियम ग्लूकोज सिम्पोर्ट प्रोसेस। दीज आर द ग्लूकोज sodium driven glucose symport process. So now this the energy of the sodium ions, this is a power, this is type of facilitated diffusion because this is a transporter, sodium transporter protein, sodium transporter glucose, sodium glucose transporter protein, and the energy of the sodium ions drives to this molecule of glucose from lumen to the inside to the cell cytosol, ठीक है, सेल के अंदर। ध्यान दीजिएगा मेरी बात पे। तो अब यहाँ क्या होगा, व्हाट विल बी, यहाँ भी कंसंट्रेशन कम हो जाएगा ग्लूकोज इधर, और यहाँ पर कंसंट्रेशन ज्यादा होगा सेल के अंदर। देन दिस सेल ऑल्सो कम्स आउट इन दी ब्लड कैप, ब्लड ब्लड में आए तो ब्लड इसको क्या करेगा, ट्रांसपोर्ट कराता है ब्लड को। ब्लड का काम तो ट्रांसपोर्ट करना ही है। you understand about the this is the extracellular space. These are the desmosomes, heavy desmosomes like structures. So now we will show here these are the passive glucose carrier proteins. These are the passive glucose carrier proteins. Here is the concentration of glucose is more, here the concentration is less, then the glucose is diffuses through to these passive carrier proteins. So these passive carrier proteins, it is transported, right? These are also present center. This is a lumen between the two cells. This is extracellular part of these two cells. This is basal lamina and this is the extracellular connective tissue. We will talk to these things, very important things. These are the, so this is the tight junctions. Mostly these tight junctions, you note down some points regarding to this one. These tight junctions in the epithelial lining, the tight junctions in the epithelial lining of small intestine, and they are 10,000 times, they are 10,000 times, they are 10,000 times more permeable to inorganic ions. These tight junctions are 10,000 times more permeable to inorganic ions. The sodium ion क्या है, inorganic ions, ठीक है। These tight junctions are in intestine, the lining of epithelial cell lining of the intestine. They are 10,000 times more permeable to inorganic ions. They are 10,000 times more permeable to the inorganic ions. And these inorganic ions such as sodium ions. That means for these ions, or this is, they show the permeability for these sodium ions, approximate 10,000 times as compared to the others. And in the epithelial lining, urinary bladder, in case of the lining of urinary bladder, and now these epithelial linings of these intestinal cells also transiently permit the increased flow of solids from one cell to other cells. From one cell to other cell, this is a paracellular transport. What is that? That is a paracellular transport. This cell and this cell, the transport between these two cells. So to these junctions, that is the tight junctions. That is, what is that? That is a paracellular transport. So now this paracellular transport is helps. You have to note down this one. I will ask you to these questions also. These paracellular transport helps in the absorption of amino acids and monosaccharides. This paracellular transport from lumen to the cell also. The paracellular transport helps. The paracellular transport is especially important in the absorption of amino acid and monosaccharides from amino. What I am telling you about the paracellular transport. Now, in case of the paracellular transport, paracellular transport is an example of the transport process from to this lumen to the cellular environment. Now, this paracellular transport, so this paracellular transport is important for the absorption of glucose and monosaccharide from the lumen of intestine to the cells, right? So now, the important question is that how can you visualize to these tight junctions? So your answer is a technique that is a freeze fracture electron microscopy. Freeze fracture, note down, tight junctions are visualized by technique that is known as freeze fracture electron microscopy. What is technique? Freeze fracture that is known as freeze fracture electron microscopy. Now the important point is that these tight junctions are made up of the colloidin proteins. The tight junctions are made up of the colloidin proteins. I am writing here colloidin proteins, CLAU, colloidins. These are made up of the colloidin proteins. These transmembrane proteins, these tight junctions are made up of the colloidin proteins. They are made up of the colloidin protein. You have to note down it. Colloidin proteins, and these colloidin proteins are very important for these tight junctions. These colloidin proteins, and here is the if you talk about the colloidin proteins, so I will just to show you that things. Then I will come back to in this slide again. If you see here, this is a tight junction proteins, and the tight junction proteins here is one is colloidin, and second is colloidin. So for the formation of these tight junctions, there are two types of proteins involved. What are that? One is colloidin protein, second is colloidin protein. Colloidin protein and colloidin protein. We remember it. I will provide you to this one. Colloidin and colloidin proteins. So now the colloidin and colloidin proteins are responsible for the formation of these tight junctions. The question is which proteins? So your answer is one is colloidin, second is colloidin proteins. Right. Now what will be happening? If this is a question for you about that, suppose that किसी कोई बेबी माइस का स्टोरी है, उसमें क्या हो गया कि जो क्लोइडिन जीन है, जैसे माइस की स्टोरी में चूहे में क्लोइडिन जीन फर्स्ट का जीन में म्यूटेशन हो गया, ठीक है, म्यूटेशन हो गया या क्लोइडिन 1 जीन इज नॉट प्रेजेंट इन दैट माइस. उस केस में क्या होता है? तो सपोज दैट क्लोइडिन 1 जीन इज नॉट प्रेजेंट इन द माइस या म्यूटेटेड, तो टाइट जंक्शंस आर नॉट फॉर्म्ड. नंबर 1 पॉइंट, टाइट जंक्शंस आर नॉट फॉर्म्ड. जब टाइट जंक्शंस नहीं बनेंगे एपिडर्मल सेल्स स्किन, तो क्या होगा कि जो if the tight junctions are not formed in the epidermis of the skin, then what will be happening? जो वाटर का इवेपोरेशन रेट है, इट विल बी इंक्रीज. ठीक है, वाटर का इवेपोरेशन रेट इंक्रीज हो जाएगा स्किन से, और तुरंत बर्थ होते ही इमीडिएट उस माउस की डेथ हो जाएगी, उस चूहे की तुरंत डेथ हो जाएगी. इफ क्लोइडिन 1 जीन इज नॉन फंक्शनल, इफ क्लोइडिन 1 जीन इज म्यूटेटेड, इफ क्लोइडिन 1 जीन इज नॉकआउट कर दिया आपने, तो क्या होगा? The tight junctions are not formed in the epidermis of that mice. Then the rate of evaporation of water is increased. As a result, and what will be happening? All the water is lost. loss of all water from the body, and mice die within a few hours. बर्थ होते ही तुरंत मर जाता है. So now this is an example that you see here. A third transmembrane protein is also related to the haploidin, is also required for some times. I will write another third protein, and you note down that is the tricellulidin. This tricellulidin protein. This is also one is here is the three proteins: haploidin, haploidin, and third one is the tricellulidin. Tricellulidin is tricellulidin that is related to haploidin. That is related to haploidin, and that tricellulidin protein. Now this tricellulidin protein is required for the sealing of these tight junctions. इन tight junctions को जो sealing करने का काम करता है, which protein? तो your answer is tricellulidin, right? Tricellulidin. और जिस कारण से क्या होगा, नो लीकेज, इस सेल से इस सेल का कोई भी लीकेज जो इस सेल में प्रोसेस होगी, एंड दिस लीकेज विल बी नॉट पॉसिबल. लीकेज पॉसिबल नहीं होगा बिकॉज दिस ट्राइसेल्यूडिन मॉलिक्यूल सील्स टू टीथ, राइट. इसका काम ही क्या करता है, सेल्स को जो है प्रिवेंट फ्रॉम द ट्रांस एपिथेलियल लीकेज, जहाँ से ये तीनों सेल्स आपकी क्या हो रही हैं, मिल रही हैं, तीनों आपको मिल रहे हैं यहाँ पर. In case of the humans, the colloidin family proteins are approximately 24 colloidin proteins in humans. You note down it. In humans, how many colloidin proteins in humans? If I am talking about the humans, so in humans there are 24 colloidin proteins. In humans, 24 colloidin proteins. CLB I am writing here. 24 colloidin proteins. In humans, 24 colloidin proteins, and they are in different types of the combinations. Different type of combination. And one, I am just taking an example. One colloidin protein present in the epithelial tissues of kidney. One colloidin protein present in the epithelial tissues of kidney, and that needed the that colloidin which is present in the epithelial tissues of kidney needed magnesium ions. It needed the magnesium ions. You note down the colloidin which is present in the epithelial tissues of kidney needed magnesium ions. Which ions? Magnesium ions. So now this needed the magnesium ions. Suppose that इस क्लोइडिन में म्यूटेशन हो जाता है, ध्यान दीजिएगा, इस क्लोइडिन में म्यूटेशन हो गया जो विच इज प्रेजेंट इन द एपिथेलियल सेल्स ऑफ द किडनी ट्यूब्यूल्स, तो क्या होगा, एक्सेस मैग्नीशियम आयंस आर कम्स आउट इन द यूरिन. मैग्नीशियम आयंस का एक्सेसिव जो मैग्नीशियम आयंस होगा वो रिलीज होंगे, उनका लॉस होगा, ठीक है, यूरिन में. तो यू हैव टू नोट डाउन टू दिस थिंग्स आल्सो. नाउ वी विल कम टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. आई थिंक दैट this is a story of your tight junctions. Okay, colloidin of colloidin. Then we will, the last part here is the gap junctions. After that it will be complete for us. Now this is a gap junction. So now for in gap junction, these gap junctions are made up of a protein that is known as a connexon. Okay, 6 subunits here is it. This is your intrinsic protein, and this is a connexin. So now student, gap junctions are only found in animal tissues. Note down it. Gap junctions are only found in animal tissues. They are not found in plant tissues, and they communicate with their neighbor cells. If you talk about the gap, the diameter of these gaps is 2 to 4 nanometer. What is the diameter of these gap junctions is 2 to 4 nanometer, and there are two distinct families of proteins. Forms these gap junctions. One is the connexon here. CONNEXON, connexon, and second is the innexon. You note down it. I will provide you the questions in your internal also, because I am teaching, I taught you, so I will not give you any advantage in terms of the quality teachings and in terms of the quality examination. So now you will note down. Read the. I will just ask you the question. Gap junction is made up of the proteins. So your answer is conoxin and inexin. You note down it. Both are unrelated in sequence. This conoxin and their homology is different. The homology means the sequence of amino acid of this conoxin and inexin is different, but their shape and function is similar. Note down it. They are analogous to each other. This connexon and inexin are analogous to each other. And in vertebrates, both are present. In vertebrates, both are present. Both families are present. Both families means this conoxin and inoxin, right? And in humans, 21 members of conoxins is predominant. In humans, how many members of this conoxin is? 21 members. In humans, 21 members of conoxins is present in humans. And in Drosophila and Caenorhabdic elegans, now you will say the Caenorhabdic elegans. So Caenorhabdic elegans is a nematode. Caenorhabdic elegans is a nematode. In Caenorhabdic elegans, there are 15 family members. There are 15 family members of this inexin. 15 family members of this inexin in Caenorhabdic elegans. In case of the Caenorhabdic elegans, how many members of families members are 15? Caenorhabdic elegans and Drosophila. ये क्वेश्चन आपके नेट में भी आते हैं. और इन फ्लाई एंड इन वॉर्म्स के केस में 15 families एंड इनके वॉर्म्स 25 members. तो ह्यूमन से केस में जो कॉनक्सिन है, इट इज प्रीडोमिनेंट. Conoxin is predominant in human. In human, this conoxin is predominant, and it has 21 members. 21 members of this conoxin in humans. And in Drosophila and Caenorhabdic elegans, that means in vertebrates, this inexin is predominant. Inexin is predominant in vertebrates, and conoxin is dominant in your vertebrates, but both are found, conoxin and inoxin both are found in vertebrates. Now in humans, which is predominant, so your answer is conoxin. And how many members of this conoxin in humans? So your answer is 21. And these gap junctions, what are the role of these gap junctions? ये क्वेश्चन एक बार पूछा भी जा चुका है. They allow the inorganic ions. Number 1 point. They allow the inorganic ions. And they also allow small water soluble molecules. They allow small water soluble molecules also. I am just taking an example. Suppose that एक प्रीसिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन से दूसरे प्रीसिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन्स में इलेक्ट्रिक करंट लगाया हमने किसी, तो इलेक्ट्रिक करंट कैसे लगेगा? बिकॉज इट इज थ्रू द मूवमेंट ऑफ आयंस. तो ये मूवमेंट ऑफ आयंस एक सेल से दूसरे सेल में हु विल प्रोवाइड? दीज गैप जंक्शंस विल प्रोवाइड. ध्यान दीजिएगा, इलेक्ट्रिक करंट लगा तो एक सेल से पूरी बॉडी में इलेक्ट्रिक करंट लगा, तो एक जगह हाथ में लगा है, हाथ से पूरी बॉडी में दौड़ जाता है, तो मूवमेंट ऑफ द आयंस विल इंक्रीज. तो हु विल तो थ्रू टू दिस गैप जंक्शन. कहाँ किन के थ्रू जाते हैं ये आयंस? गैप जंक्शन के थ्रू. याद रखिएगा इस चीज को. नाउ कॉनक्सिन जो प्रोटीन है आती है, ये जो कॉनक्सिन प्रोटीन है, ये जैसे 4 पास प्रोटीन्स. कॉनक्सिन इज ए 4 पास ट्रांसमेम्ब्रेन प्रोटीन्स, और in 6 this connection molecule is a 4 pass protein. This connection is a 4 pass proteins. 4 pass proteins है connection आपकी, 4 pass transmembrane proteins, and the 6 units, and the 6 units 2 2 4 2 6, ठीक है, 3 3 6, the 6 units forms the hemichannels. They forms the hemichannels. This is homotypic and this is heterotypic. Here is a different, this is different part and this is different part. So homotypic and homomeric and heteromeric, they forms these interstitial channels forms through they either form the heterotypic or homotypic, right? So now hemichannels, they form the hemichannels or connexons. This is a connexon, you will see here. And the gap junctions, I think that And the important function of these gap junctions is that these gap junctions plays an important role. These gap junctions plays very important role, and these gap junctions plays very important roles, and they plays an important role in the transport of the ions. Number one point, and they also help in the transport of small water soluble molecules from one cell to the another cells, as well as they help also they allow the action potential to spread from cell to cell, and so they in a coordinated manner, and they also share small metabolites from one cell to the other cells. If you take the examples of the liver cells, suppose the nerve terminal Cs comes in the liver cells, then these gap junctions send to that signals across the different hepatocytes, across the different hepatocyte cells, across the different hepatocyte cells. And if you, I'm just taking one example, that they are also present in the follicles of ovary cells, these gap junctions, as well as uh, if mutation occurs in the connexin 26, that is the commonest cause of congenital deafness. मतलब सुनाई नहीं देगा यदि कॉनॉक्सिन 26 में म्यूटेशन हो जाता है, तो दैट इज ए कॉन्जेनाइटल डीफनेस. As a resultant, what will be happening? The death of the cells in organ of Corti. Organ of Corti is present inside our internal ear. Internal ear में पाया जाएगा. So now what will be happening? The inside the organ of Corti cells will be dead. और जिस कारण जो है क्या हो जाती है, कॉन्जेनाइटल डिसऑर्डर, डीफनेस हो जाती है, वन थिंग. एंड दी सेकेंड इज द कैटरेक्ट. आइज के केस में हुआ तो कैटरेक्ट होगा आँख में, ठीक है, माइंडेड डिसीज पेरिफेरल नर्व्स. तो these gap junctions plays very important role in the embryogenesis process also. So this is the whole story of these gap junctions. If you have any questions regarding to this one, so you can ask to me, because now I complete the cellular communication parts. Now I complete the cellular communication parts. The pannexin molecule also you read it, that's no problem.